Yes, guys, good morning. Happy Sunday to you all and happy game week 16. I think so far for many, it's been a bit of a happy game week, isn't it? Congratulations if you bought in Isak. Congratulations if you got that Cunha haul. If you went Saka captain or you went Salah captain, you might be a little bit disappointed. But again, congrats for probably having some Arsenal defenders. I'm guessing there's a lot on the double up. There might even be a few on the triple up. Just a one Arsenal defender for me, but I did have Lewis Hall. We're going to review every game today. There was 5 very good games for FPL yesterday. So we're going to go through them in detail. Stay tuned for pass maps, for average position maps, for XG plots, for some underlying numbers from Scout. Got loads to show you in today's show. Do not go anywhere. And thank you for joining this Sunday morning. This is a regular time slot for me, 9:30 UK time every Sunday morning. It's you and us. Going through all the good bits from Saturday, my favorite time of the week, genuinely. Let's say hello to some of you in the chat. Congratulations to everyone with good scores. I'm seeing 57s, 63s. Let us know your scores. Matthew, thank you for coming a member. That's awesome. Really appreciate the support. And Maliki, as always, man, really love your support for me as well. I'm so lucky to have you. Do hit that like button, guys, and do subscribe. Shout out to Sammy, who's modding this morning as well. Aiden's in, Shiraz is in from Lebanon. Don't stress if you're not having a great game week. I'm sure your time's going to come good. We need to speak about 8 Nori replacements. Yeah, we might need to speak about Cunha replacements as well. We could see a 5-game ban for Cunha. This is the image post-match. That was an Ipswich coach that he's almost gouging in the eye as he scrambles towards his glasses. We saw Kudus suspended for 5 games for something very similar. Hey to everyone down under, like Keith, Sammy Lee, Paul. Sammy's got 30 with 3 players to play. Not the best of game weeks for him. Neil Petterson is in. Loving Fantasy Football is in. And Linda, Rowena. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Siggy is 63,000 in the world. Absolutely buzzing. Wow. And Andy says, just hit the like button. Hall for 8 Nori. Look, guys, I didn't buy 8 Nori a month ago when everyone else did. I bought Lewis Hall. And for the time being, for a long time, it was rubbish. Lewis Hall was blanked. I happened to catch a big haul from Lewis Hall. That might not be a theme to continue. Like you've missed the best fixture for Lewis Hall. The best fixture was yesterday. He's still got some good games, though. I still think he's a good pick. Let me show you more on Lewis Hall later. So far in the poll, guys, get voting. 64% of you still have your captain to play. There's a lot of you on Cole Palmer, isn't there? There's a lot of you on Cole Palmer. So look, let's get started, shall we? Loads of juicy stuff to show you this morning. As always, bonus points at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to start with a little bit of numbers and then move. And the majority of this show is going to be on the visual stuff from the 5 games. But look, from Scout, I always check out the members area early to go, who are the underperformers? Who are the overperformers? Now, no surprises. The underperformers are the guys that miss big chances. Interesting that Isak, despite his big haul, 1.42 XG. Usually when Isak gets 1.42 XG, he gets 2 goals. He got the 1. Odegaard missing a big chance there. Delap and Saka could have done better. Strand Larson as well. Harry Wilson on 0.62 XG. He's getting starts for Fulham, Harry Wilson. Just monitor that as a budget mid. And Luis Diaz played up front again yesterday. Overperformers are those that scored goals, often from low XG chances. Jacob Murphy got 2. John Duran got 1. John Duran's goal was 0.08. That wiped out my Matt Sells clean sheet. Really frustrating. Cunha, by the way, got his goal off an XG of 0.41, we can see there. In terms of the teams taking the most shots, Newcastle, wow, like huge shot volume, 27 shots. That is crazy. Next best is like Forest at 17, Liverpool at 16. See those Newcastle shots? 11 of them are on target. Pretty impressive. And then the individuals to shine. Despite Newcastle having loads of shots, it was spread amongst the team. Cunha and Strand Larson, though, look at that. Both on 5. You might have expected more returns. Lewis Hall, chances created, though. Check that out. More creative than Isak and Gordon. Lewis Hall, 5 chances created, and he got 2 assists, of course. Let us know what you think of Lewis Hall. I know a lot of you are buying him for 8 Nori, and I don't hate that move by any stretch. Right, before we go game by game, let's just take a little stock check. And by the way, thank you all Oh, did Robinson not get the 2 bonus points? I got the bonus points at the bottom of the screen. I haven't checked them this morning. I checked them last night. I thought Robinson was moved up to 2 bonus. Let's just check that as we go through fixture 5 fixture. So for Liverpool, yeah, it looks like Robinson is actually 1 short. He's 27. Muniz and Jota 28. So could change. Could still change, but as things stand, yeah, Robinson, good spot, guys, isn't on the bonus. Muniz and Jota is. Jota's a really interesting one. How do we feel about Jota? I feel like he might be in high demand very soon. Listed as a midfielder, remember Jota. Listed as a midfielder. And he's cheap as well. And he's had price drops. Like, hard to fit him in. Like, and it's just, who you're selling. But Jota's going to be the starting number 9 for Liverpool. And again, yesterday, we didn't see Darwin starting, guys. We saw Diaz get the number 9 spot, which isn't his position. Diogo Jota is 7.2 million, 2.7% owned. He got 11 minutes yesterday and an 8-pointer. The fixtures aren't bad either. He plays Leicester at home in game week 18. He'll be ready to start by then. I don't know if he's ready to start next time. You might see another sub appearance. So yeah, look, that's where we're at. Right. What game do you want to get started on, guys? Do you know what? Let me know where in the world you're watching from as well. I'd love to know where in the world you are. Loads of you are down under, aren't you? Loads in Asia, loads in New Zealand, loads in Australia, which is awesome. I'm glad I get to do an early live because most of you guys can't watch many lives on YouTube because it's middle of the night when a lot of the English YouTubers, for example, go live. So, big upsets. Any big upset? Yeah, Liverpool, Fulham. We've got to get to Liverpool, Fulham early. Arsenal and Everton, I think we have to get to early as well. Arsenal were woeful. Yeah, Western Canada in the house. Norway, Crewe, Dublin, Ireland. Western Canada is cool. Melbourne, Finland, Canada, Singapore, London, Jupiter. Thank you, Maliki. Cozy bed in London, India. There we go. Iceland in the house from Sigurd and South Africa, Crete, Somalia. Wicked. We don't often have many in Somalia. There we go. Market Harbour, massive. Wales. Thank you, guys. We'll talk about the games later today coming up. But first, Accra. There we go. Ghana in the house. Cape Town, South Africa from Neil. My favourite city in the world. Japan, Hove. From Japan to Hove. The diversity of these. From Japan... Sorry, from Belgrade. Just if I go in order, we got Accra, it's Ghana, isn't it? Cape Town, Toronto, Belgrade, Japan, Hove, Mars. That's a pretty cool mix. Beirut, there we go. Shiraz, Kenya. So let's get started. I'm buzzing for this one. We're going to start at Arsenal, guys. I think we have to because we often forget. I think we've been forgetting a little bit and giving him a little bit of grace that Bukayo Saka is clearly a very good FPL pick. He's probably the 3rd best in the game at the moment, certainly midfielder, but it's Salah and Palmer are the top 2. But in the last couple of weeks, since I bought him, he's had a 3, a 2, and a 3. It's not been brilliant. But before that, he had a 13 and an 18. And in the Champions League in the week, I had him in UCL Fantasy. He smashed it again, like 3 returns. He's 44% owned. It's big news when he doesn't produce the goods against Everton at home. Now, the XA was there. It was fine. That his numbers were okay yesterday. But Arsenal, they're just not dynamic enough in attack at the moment. He clocked an XGI yesterday, Saka, of 0.92. So Saka got 0.56 XA, 0.36 XG. A lot of Arsenal's good work, almost 1 XGI of it, was from Saka, from assist threat or goal threat. And Everton offered nothing. Everton were never going to score. This was always an Arsenal clean sheet fixture. And if you had double Arsenal defence, let me know in the chat. If you had triple Arsenal defence, let me know in the chat. That's proper impressive. I only have the 1. I went Trent over an Arsenal defender. Possibly a big mistake. Would have saved money if I had gone down to a Timber as well, for example. So look, that's where we are with the Arsenal XG plot. Big chance. Just couldn't do it. So these half spaces, Arsenal play so high up the pitch. Yesterday, they had all possession. They constantly had the ball in the Everton final third in these half spaces. Now, when you're clocking neat and tidy passes in these half spaces around the box, you should be getting more XG than 1.4. You should be getting more goals than 0. And what do we put it down to? When Arsenal stop scoring goals, it's very easy to say they need a number 9. I think it's more than that. I don't think we can blame Kai Havertz. I think you need to ask a lot more from Martinelli on the left. Does Martinelli offer the same as Saka? Absolutely not. I think you probably need to add more goals into the midfield. Like, does Odegaard score a little bit? A couple of seasons ago, he put up good numbers. But then does Declan Rice and Moreno, if they're in there, do they pop up with enough goals from midfield? No, they don't. It's not just the Kai Havertz show up front. No. Check out their average position, though. What we've seen with Arsenal is they often play a flat back 4 or one of them inverts. Yesterday, we saw the kid, Miles Skelly, and we saw Timber, both fullbacks, tucking in. Now, that meant both wingers went really wide. So Saka and so we can see the average, the pass map is like that. There wasn't huge amount going on. It was a very crowded space in the middle. And it was a lot of neat tick-attacker football with actually not enough output. Not enough output. Glad I said that about Havertz. Yeah, I think it's unfair. Just go, oh, they haven't scored goals. It's number 9. Well, I'm sorry, but Mikel Moreno or Rice, when he's, dynamic in attack and good box to box, and Odegaard, especially, who plays in advanced number 10 positions, they need to contribute more goals. And on the left, Martinelli or Trossard, whoever plays, I can't expect them to be a Bukayo Saka, but they can get close. At the moment, they just haven't been. Comments from me the other day saying Trent is overcoated. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Good morning, Y. Good morning, everyone. We're going game by game if you're just joining. If you're watching on catch up, by the way, thank you guys for your support this Sunday. I'm guessing you're looking forward to a lot of Sunday football. We'll go through the Sunday games in a minute. There's 470 of you watching, which is awesome for 9:45 on a Sunday morning. Only 78 of you have hit that like button, though, and only 4 of you have hit the subscribe button. So if you are unsubscribed, just check. If you want to hit that subscribe button, that's a great way of supporting the channel. If you want to like, that's also a cool way of supporting the channel. So thank you, guys. Let's just show how Everton looks, because they parked the bus. Yeah, need a new peak, Henry. Arsenal should have brought Sterling on. Yeah, I just don't know about Sterling, though, either. Like, do Arsenal have enough off the bench in the wide forward positions? Trossard, Sterling. Trossard comes up with goals every now and then, to be fair to him. This is Everton. Look how deep they are. Look how high Arsenal are, average position. Look how deep Everton are. Like, Calvert-Lewin's average position, the most advanced man for Everton, is still in his own half. Like, he spent the game on the halfway line. Oh, thank you, Sammy. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see none of you hitting the subscribe button, but I'm guessing a lot of you already are. But there'll be about 100 that aren't subscribed, and maybe today I can convince you to do it. We see at the bottom of the screen the bonus points. One of the guys that got bonus was Mikalenko. What's really interesting with bonus was it was the Arsenal defenders like Gabriel that picked up the 3. Okay. Now, usually when it's defense versus attack like this in a 0-0 draw, you expect the Everton centre-backs to pick up all the bonus, not the Arsenal centre-backs. Now, the Arsenal centre-backs can benefit from the passing numbers, and to get good BPS in pass completion, you have to have a lot of passes. Now, the Everton centre-backs wouldn't have clocked that because they barely had the ball. But what the Everton centre-backs would have had is a lot of tackles, blocks, and interceptions that you would have expected Gabriel not to get. But Gabriel is just a monster at it. Saliba gets 1 bonus. Gabriel gets 3. That's why Gabriel's the better asset. And he did look great, Sammy. You're quite right. So that's interesting. Pickford did get 2. And then Mikalenko 1. Hands up if you bench Mikalenko. Annoying, isn't it? Annoying. To be fair, I was never going to start him. So I'm fine with that. It's just, yeah. Right. We're going to move on from Arsenal. Where do you want to go to next, guys? Let me know in the chat what game you want to see next. We're going to go through every single game. We've obviously got a lot to show you. We've done Arsenal-Everton. There's still the Liverpool game, the Newcastle game. We've got to talk Wolves and Cunha. And then Forest Villa needs a proper deep dive, because they're 2 teams of high interest with FPL for different reasons. And then we're, of course, going to talk about the Sunday games. Yeah, that Everton map is England under Southgate. That is harsh, but I like it. Good morning. Sorry, guys. I was up late last night drinking in London, so little bit. Oh, I've just spilled my tea everywhere. A little bit croaky. Early start though. I was out with the little one, walking the dog at 8 a.m. up at 6. I had Holly Shan stay at my house last night. She got off early. Holly and I were out in London, so yeah, that was pretty cool. with a couple of other FPL YouTubers and stuff. FPL General was with him. You see my Instagram for more, but FPL Salah, FPL General, Lazy FPL, the newsletter guys, they were there. So that was pretty cool. Right, where are we moving to next? Maliki says Wolves Ipswich. I don't think we will do Wolves Ipswich, maybe third. I feel like we have to move, though, to Liverpool because of Salah. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get to Cunha. We'll get to Wolves Ipswich. Liverpool, Fulham. Give us your one-liners in the chat. What did we see here, guys? Well, the early red card obviously changes the game. Obviously changes the game. As soon as Liverpool got Robertson sent off in the 17th minute, I felt like we were in for fewer Salah points. I felt like we were in for a very tight, scrappy game. Scrappy might be unfair, but it was certainly tight. Liverpool, though, definitely deserved the draw. To play over an hour, 75 minutes pretty much, with 10 men against a good Fulham team is pretty damn useful. Yeah, no Salah bonus. No Salah bonus. Feel sorry for Salah captainers. Well, Mackem, you're right. Like if Salah captain, if Liverpool keep 11 men on the field, Salah's probably getting points. Because look, Fulham were a little bit vulnerable at the back without Bassey and without Anderson. Remember, it was the third and fourth choice centre-backs. And Salah's XG was all right. 0.59 was his XGI. Not bad. Not bad. So yeah, that's where we go. We'll talk about Cunha, guys, in a second. I'm going to keep game by game for those watching on catch-up so it's clear. Anthony Robinson, though, he's a proper useful FPL asset. Many of us owned Robinson and then stitched him on wildcard. I did. 2 assists for Robinson. He did get a yellow card, though, which drops him out the bonus. But a pretty even game. Liverpool late on clearly deserved the equaliser. The big thing for me was Darwin is so low down on Slot's wish list now. Darwin should be the starting number 9, especially when Jota's injured. And what's he doing? He's playing Diaz there. Now, Diaz naturally drifts left, and Diaz and Gakpo are sort of both on the left, as we can see from this pass map. Diaz has been the number 9. It's really important to observe, though, that Gakpo is the first choice on this left-hand side for Liverpool. If we take, a lot of people say, oh, Gakpo's a rotation risk. I wouldn't go that far. I think Gakpo is a genuine option as a Cunha replacement. Gakpo is only 7.1. You only need 0.4, 0.5 from Cunha. Now, let me tell you Gakpo's last 4 games. He does come off early, but he started all 4 of them in the Premier League. On the left-hand side, a 61, a 72, a 66, a 69. Now, in that time, he's had 2 9-pointers. He does pop up with some goals. And when Gakpo gets goals, he gets bonus points too, because he's a forward and there's a big boost there. So we had 3 bonus points in those 2 9-pointers. The 9-pointer versus City, the 9-pointer versus Fulham included a goal and 3 bonus. Even though he only plays an hour or 70 minutes, Gakpo is worth a look. I don't think he'll be my Cunha replacement, but he might be. I'm definitely keen. Obviously, you've got the risk of him being benched, and Luis Diaz or Gakpo will start on the left. But at the moment, it's Gakpo's shirt on the left. He plays Spurs next, but then Leicester at home in 18 is a really nice fixture. He's got some good fixtures. I don't hate it. He's proper cheap, 7.1. But obviously, Jota at 7.2 in midfield is probably the better option. Salah high and wide, as you expect. What we saw when Andy Robertson went off, of course, Liverpool had to be a little bit deeper. So the likes of Trent can't get into advanced positions. Again, if you're a Trent owner, the Robbo red card was really bad for you. That was me. But it's fine. We move. So look, what about Fulham? Fair play. Even with against 10 men, going to Anfield is tough. And they were deep in defence, but they were still quite high up the pitch. When we compare Fulham here to what we saw from Everton, right? Everton go away at Arsenal and they're all deep. They're all deep in the same half, right? Look at Fulham. Jimenez, Harry Wilson, Andreas Pereira, even Iwobi. That's 4 players. Their average position is in the opponent's half. Everton, not a single player was in the opponent's half. Yet the defence of both teams were both really deep. I like the fact that Fulham were happy to go long. Fulham were happy to get the ball high up the pitch and keep possession, unlike Everton, who would go long and it just drop back every time. And Fulham are a much better footballing team, and they can pass through the midfield. And Sasha Lukic and Sander Berge are a really nice midfield pivot. If you play Lukic and Berge together, you can just let the front four express themselves. And that's what we've seen. We've seen in recent weeks. Smith Rowe, go and do it. We've seen Andreas Pereira go and do it. Raul Jimenez go do it. Harry Wilson go do it. Iwobi go do it. And that's the beauty of the Fulham team. They got quality in advanced positions. And that's why Fulham are a good FPL asset team to invest in. Like, I don't have a Fulham player. And I think I should probably go Robinson. I should have had Robinson. He's been good source of clean sheets. He's got good fixtures. He's got Southampton, Bournemouth, Ipswich. 3 of his next 4 all at home. Southampton at home, Bournemouth at home, Ipswich at home in his next 4. I really like that for Robinson. He's 4.7. So Robinson, if I hadn't just bought a defender, that, like, if you're selling 8 Nori, Robinson over Hall for me. If you're looking for a budget midfielder, Iwobi's still very, very good. Andreas Pereira obviously got the points yesterday. Smith Rowe was a sub yesterday. We've seen that going away from home. I think it was against Man City. And again yesterday, Smith Rowe's missed a couple of big games when it's been away from home. He's been benched. That's an interesting one. It's like, oh, okay. I'm going to the Etihad. I'm going to Anfield. I'm going to bench him. Every other game, I think he started. Now the 2 games he's been benched. And then Raul Jimenez. Again, many will go Cunha to Jimenez. I like Jimenez. He is first choice, but just like Gakpo, expect early subs. His last 6 starts, Raul Jimenez. 67, 78, 77, 70, 74, 72. He doesn't really play 90. Before that, he got a couple of 90s, but literally his last 6 starts always comes off around 70. It's fine. For the fixtures, maybe it's still worth it, but Muniz is going to get minutes. I'm on Robinson. Nice. Well played there, Matt. Well played. So look, that's where we are with the Fulham average position. Okay. Should we move on? Should we do one more? Should we do one more and then a little some Q&A, or yeah, where do you want to go? No, Smith Rowe does always play Gaynor. He just doesn't play when they go to the Etihad or Anfield. You're fine. He's going to start all the other games. Raul minutes are there. He does get 70. And I would argue 70 minutes of Raul Jimenez versus Southampton at home, Bournemouth at home, and Ipswich at home is still a very good Raul Jimenez 70 minutes. 5.5 million, guys. I do like Raul Jimenez as an option. 90 minutes is going to be a tough ask. You can't, it's not a gimme, like, especially over the festive period with the Boxing Day fixtures. We have, how many of you are watching? 600 in the house. That is awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your support. I can see loads of you have hit that like button now as well. We're over 100 likes. So if you want to hit that like button, I'd love to get our ratio up to 1 in 5, not 1 in 6 hitting the button. If you fancy, it just helps the algorithm. But likewise, loads of you, if you want to hit that subscribe button, because you're not subscribed earlier. If you're wondering why you can't add your comment in the chat is for subscribers only. So it's a bit of blackmail. Hands up. But genuinely, the benefits of being a subscriber is I get to interact with you. I get to bring your comments up on screen as I can with you guys. Thanks, Rowena. Yeah, hit that button. Crazy FPL stats, says Samir. My FPL team had Pickford and Robinson, and when I expected the least from them, they deliver a great start to game week 16. I mean, fair play. You got bonus points from Pickford. You got 2 assists from Robinson. There's a lot of jealous FPL managers out there, Samir, with your 2 defensive options that should have got 1 point, or many would have thought would have got 1 pointers. The good news is, guys, 62% of you still have your captain to play. I'm chuffed for you there. Oh, thanks, guys. Right. Where to next? We've done Arsenal because of Saka. That was a big headline for me. We've done Liverpool. That was a big headline for me. But the next big headline is without doubt, and he was rivaling Saka for the thumbnail shout this week. It's Alexander Isak, isn't it? We got to talk about Newcastle. This was a guy that every YouTuber has been talking about all week. Every content creator in FPL was said by Isak. I was one of them. I didn't buy him. I said buy him because I had fires in my defense and I prioritized Trent over Isak. Silly Janny. Isak got 11 points. And he has had an 11, an 8, and an 11 in the last 3 weeks. In fact, he had an 11 in game week 11 as well. He's had 3 11s in 6 weeks. He's smashing it. He got 2 bonus. He got a goal, got assist. He should have had more. The fixtures are there for him, but you could argue you can wait for Isak. Isak plays Ipswich away. That's tougher than it sounds. Villa at home. That's not a bad fixture. United away. Spurs away. You could go without Isak till game week 21. But in game week 21, you need him. So game week 20, go without him. Game week 21, I think you need to buy Isak. I think I need to buy Isak. Game week 21, he plays Wolves at home, Bournemouth at home, Southampton away, and Fulham at home. 25% owned, 8.7 million. He's not cheap. He's not cheap. Yeah, I know. ABCD says, 1234 says, add FPL to your YouTube channel. I think your views and subs will go up. ABCD1234, my Twitter account, my Instagram account, my TikTok, and my YouTube doesn't include FPL. And I know that would get me way more subs. And it would show up on the algorithm way better because people search FPL and I don't show. But I don't want to be an FPL only account. Like, I like talking football. I would argue a lot of this morning's show isn't even FPL. I mean, sure, I could put it in, but I also make some like Champions League content, or Euros content in the summer. And I used to do shorts of just random football shorts, not like what football players went to private school. I don't know. I don't know. I've got aspirations to do stuff outside of FPL as well. So I hear you, but it's a conscious decision. And I like to tweet guilt-free about football without FPL or just life. Thanks, Keith. I do put in a ton of effort. I also have a day job, which I only do part-time, to be fair. FPL is pretty much full-time. My captain delivered. Shout out for all those that captained Isak. Took a big risk and took JP out for Isak. It paid off, Matt. It paid off. 4.22 XG. How many times have we seen that? Certainly not from Newcastle this season. That is massive XG. It's absolutely monster points for those that went big on Newcastle. Jacob Murphy got a brace, you know? Jacob Murphy wasn't even nailed. They never look like conceding. 0.19 for Leicester. It was dire. This was always going to be a big win, and maybe I should have moved heaven and earth to get Isak. Let me know in the chat if you owned Isak. Those that are like fair play. A few captained him. I was with Ed yesterday. My mate, Newcastle fan, he had Isak captain. I know Isak can look points, but just got a gut feeling the two going in a village performance. Yeah, I know what you mean, Sammy. They're not the most reliable team. They go to Ipswich next week. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a 1-1 draw. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. We've got a super chat from Chris Cummins. I'm going to get to that very, very shortly because it's a Ryan Aït-Nouri replacement, and I want to get to that when I get to the Wolves game. So stay tuned for more Wolves chat. Buonanotte was benched. Yeah, he's been their best player this season, like one of them. Lewis Hall. Yes, my spelling of Hall, Charlie. I tweeted that. You copied me. He really was amazing. He really was amazing. Let's have a look how he shapes up in terms of position on the field. So a lot went down that left-hand side, and it always does when Gordon's on the left. This is why you need Gordon on the left. He's so much better on the left, and they use him as the main outlet. Look at the passing lines between Lewis Hall and Gordon, the thick lines, and even Burn to Hall versus Cher, Livramento, Murphy on the other side. They don't play down the right-hand side. Like, they play down the left, and Lewis Hall's a big part of that. Lewis Hall is the biggest bubble on the pitch, right? That means he had the ball more than everyone else. Yeah. But it has to be noted, his assists were a header and a deflected cross. It's not sustainable. You got, in a way, lucky. But at the same time, he produced a ton. He produced a ton of chances, didn't he? We saw at the top of the show, he produced, let's show you here, Newcastle were top for shots, chances created, and the individuals, Lewis Hall created more chances on Saturday than any other footballer. 5 chances created. Gordon and Isak were second with 4, but it's not bad going. Like, Lewis Hall is getting the chance, is creating the chances, and it's impressive. So he did deserve his assists in a way, maybe not from the ones he got, but from other play. Yeah. The assists were well deserved, and fair play if you went there, because not only do you get 2 assists and a clean sheet, of course, when your player's getting 2 assists and a clean sheet, he's getting the bonus. If Isak had scored another goal or gotten another assist, Isak gets 3 bonus. But the expected goal involvement from Isak, from Lewis Hall yesterday was 0.64. It's a really, really good performance. You've missed the best game. You don't have to go and buy him. If you're looking for an Aït-Nouri replacement, Let's go to the super chat now, actually, that came in from Chris. If you're looking for an 8 replacement, Lewis Hall and Robinson are the two. Robinson, I think I prefer. I think I prefer Robinson and I own Lewis Hall. If you've got the money, I think I prefer Robinson, but it's a really tight one. Want to move to today. Do I do Ryan Nori and Havertz or Solanke and Timber? Oh, you need to see how Solanke plays today. Personally, I don't like Solanke. Or go Trent a week early and Evan Nilsson. See how Evan Nilsson looks today. I think I prefer Trent and Evan Nilsson. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. Thank you, Chris. Really appreciate you asking a super chat this Sunday morning, supporting the channel. Isak's BPS was crazy high. He scored and he created loads of chances. Remember, the underlying creativity numbers helps in the bonus. Key passes helps in the bonus. Isak, his expected assist yesterday was also quite high, but he lost out for missing a couple of big chances because you get minus points. But he benefited from hitting the target a couple of times. So yeah, that's why Isak's bonus was so high. By the way, big positional change. Klaxon. Positional change, Klaxon. Don't know what that is. I need a bell. What I like to do on these streams is talk a little bit about position because something I'm interested in, right? We talk football. Newcastle have changed their shape a bit. I told you 4 weeks ago, Chelsea had changed their shape. And I told you about Enzo 4 weeks ago. That's the beauty of these Sunday streams. I'm telling you now, Newcastle have changed their shape. And this might be less FPL relevant, but I don't know if it is. Bruno Guimaraes is now not playing as the 6. He's playing as an 8. Tonali is now playing as a 6. This was a very different story a couple of weeks ago. Tonali has been an 8 mostly at his time in Newcastle. I personally think Tonali is an 8, but Newcastle fans will tell you moving Tonali to the 6 has massively helped the team because it gives Bruno the opportunity to get involved. And Bruno Guimaraes is really good in front of goal. He's just rarely in that position on the pitch when he plays number 6. Now, yesterday, what did we see from Bruno Guimaraes? He played number 8. He only played an hour. He got a little rest. He's, of course, a 90-minute man usually. And he scored his goal. But also, he clocked an expected goal involvement of 1.00. Assist threat, but massive goal threat. Now, I'm not saying go and buy Bruno Guimaraes tomorrow. All I'm saying is, just like Enzo, he's had a position change. And in that new position, Bruno Guimaraes, same as Enzo, is now a goal and assist threat. Manage expectations. He's still a budget midfielder, 6.1. Bit more expensive than Enzo. The fixtures aren't bad. If you're shopping for a 6.1 million midfielder, Guimaraes is going to keep this position. It's not a bad place to go. Not a bad place to go. Just an interesting observation. It might help them defensively too, by the way, playing Tonali and Bruno as well as still Joe Linton. It's still the same midfield 3, but just a little shift around might help them with more clean sheets too. I mean, they were never going to concede yesterday. Ipswich on the road are bad. Is Jacob Murphy good for FPL? In and out the team, it's Murphy or Barnes. The problem with Barnes is he's not very good on the right. Barnes wants to play on the left. But Gordon's very good on the left. So we've seen Gordon forced out to the right. I remember the game against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago. Great cross from Gordon on the right, but he doesn't want to play there. Gordon wants to be able to play on the left and cut in on his right foot and shoot. So it's between Barnes and Murphy. Who gets the nod? As things stand, Jacob Murphy's, of course, going to keep his start. He has started the last 3. Jacob Murphy's in this team for a few weeks until he has a stinker. But in the last 2, he's had 20 points. 4.9 million, by the way. Is he from Ipswich? I feel like, or is he Norwich? He plays Ipswich next week, just thinking of that narrative, but I think he's Norwich. Bruno G is a BPS magnet, absolutely. And he gets fouled. Last season, Bruno G got fouled more than any other player. And that helps this season in the BPS. Remember? Slight change in BPS rules this year. Right, that's Newcastle. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're not going to show the Leicester one. We're not going to show Leicester because I don't think we actually need to. I don't think we're buying Leicester players, are we? We've still got to get to the Wolves game. We have to talk about Cunha and 8 replacements. We have to look at Ipswich, an impressive result, and then Forest Villa. And then we have to talk about the 4 games today and 1 tomorrow, and about our predictions for that. Let's have a little bit of a chat about those 5 games coming up. The big news, of course, when we talk about Wolves is that it's very likely Cunha is going to be suspended. You can't do this post-match. We saw Kudus get suspended for 5 games for something similar. I'm not saying it's going to be 5 games, but there's going to be a suspension surely for Cunha, a retrospective ban. And if that comes in, he's going to be a sell. I do think we'll see a Cunha suspension, but let's see. Guys, there's 700 of you nearly watching. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Honestly, I'm slightly humbled every Sunday morning when I go, how do we have so many people tuning in on a Sunday morning? And because the numbers are there and the demand is there, and because I get to talk about football as much as FPL, this is my favorite stream of the week. So thank you, as always, for choosing me on your Sunday mornings. I want to give you the opportunity to win some prizes. And I give away £100 a voucher for Amazon every single week. Every single game week, I give away a £100 voucher. Now, some game weeks, game week 1 and game week 14, I gave away a PS5. In this festive period, maybe between Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to give away another PS5. So every week, it's a £100 voucher or a PS5 if you join my Pick'em League. I'm just getting it up on my phone. If you're not already in it, Sleeper Pick'em is a predictions tool where you take the 10 games in the Premier League, these 10 games, and you go, Arsenal, Everton, I think it'll be an Arsenal win. Liverpool, Fulham, I think it'll be a Liverpool win. Hey, it was hard this week. We can see I went Arsenal and Liverpool wins, and clearly they both dropped points, and it was a bad prediction. So get your predictions in Pick'em, and you do that literally by just scanning the QR code on screen, or there's a link in the description. I would love to see a couple of you joining the pool right now. I've got it up on my phone. I can see King Henry 9 has just joined, and we can chat. We can chat in the app. So Sleeper app is brilliant. It takes 10-20 seconds to download. There's none of that horrible sign up stuff. It's just simple, like I think name and email. It's free. There's no gambling. There's no crypto. No gimmicks here. I'm literally just giving away £100 or a PS5 to one of you lot every week. Pretty cool. And all you got to do is go, I'm going to predict the 10 games. If any of you are playing in the Pick'em League in the chat right now, just let us know your thoughts so I can flash a few of them up on screen. Like if you're using Sleeper to play my Pick'em, I want to know your thoughts, and then we'll move on and do the Wolves debrief. Can you make it a PS5 Pro? Already have a PS5? What I do, Matthew, is if you don't want the PS5, I say whatever country you're in, I'll give you an Amazon voucher of the same price. So what I've been doing is sending £350 instead Amazon voucher to those that don't want the PS5. So far, Peter's in 1 in 5 of the Sleeper League this week. Yeah, Pick'em's pretty straightforward. So good. Yeah, the reviews are coming in. So you guys are in already. If you're not in, join Peter, join Y, and come and play and have your chance to win. Great app, G. Simple, easy to get involved. There we go. Easy to play, hard to win, Jammer. The overall prize for the season-long game is a MacBook. My dad is second. Honestly, if he wins, everyone's going to be like, it's corrupt. It's a great app. Want to watch every PR game just to back your predictions. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Shiraz. Yeah, so look, honestly, I don't need to sell this. You guys are saying it for me. Just joined this game week. Only got one right. Yeah, there's plenty of times come good. Matthew keeps forgetting his sleeper picks. There we go. But look, guys, you're all already in. If you're not in, come and join them. We talk about it every week. So where do you want to go to next? We've said we've got 2 big games to go to, and we've got to preview the Sunday action. I think we should stick on the Saturday action first. So let's go to Wolves, because Cunha is an issue for many. Should we do a poll? Do you own Cunha? I'm really interested to know. Let's do a poll. Is from Engage Manager, or was Cunha in your Game Week 16 squad? Like, was he? Honestly, I bet 50% of you have got Cunha. Let's have a look. Worst thing with Ryan Aït-Nouri is he's now suspended, but he's still got 4 yellows. So he's suspended because of the red card, which is really interesting. But the yellows, he will come back and he'll still be on that tightrope. Wow. 73% of you. This is worth talking about. 73% of you own Cunha. So we have to talk about Cunha replacements. That's nuts. A lot of you have got Aït-Nouri as well. Cunha owned by... Yeah, Paul, this is very different though. This is why I asked the question. I can see he's owned by about 25%, but that's the entire game. What about you lot that watch YouTube content, that watch me, knowing I have him in my team, knowing I talk about him all the time, knowing you're engaged managers? It's not 25%. It's 72% right now as we go live in the poll. Wow, 160 of you have voted straight away. But only 200 of you have hit the like button in the last 45 minutes. If some of those people want to hit subscribe and like, just like you vote, then it's the same idea, just clicking. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, so Cunha. Oh, Paul, no way. Paul, that's pretty cool. Paul is going to gift the membership, which means he's going to buy a membership and give it away to one of you lot in the chat. If 500 of you hit the like button, I would say that's possible. That is definitely possible. We're going to talk about Cunha and his overperformance. We're going to talk about Cunha and his chances. We're going to talk about the fact that Ipswich came away from home to Wolves in a relegation dogfight and got the better of Wolves from chances and from goals. Fair play to Ipswich, because not many had them down to win. Not many had them down to win. And Cunha, 0.3 XG, is fine. Not much in terms of assist rate yesterday. Ipswich started the game way better, and then they just dominated throughout. Like, they edged it throughout. We can see this plot. Never do Wolves have a higher line than Ipswich. It's always Ipswich, and then Wolves just below them and sort of following trend like that. Cunha replacements. Raul Jimenez is going to be the obvious, because he saves you money. Raul Jimenez has got the fixtures. He doesn't have 90 minutes. Another player I like is Gakpo. Has the fixtures. Plays on the left wing, 7.1, similar price point, bit more. Doesn't have 90 minutes, and he will miss a game or two. It's slim pickings. The big one is, can you go up to an Isak? I don't know if you can. That's a lot of money. Can you go up to an Isak? Evan Nilsson's a really good option. I like Evan Nilsson. Yeah, look, FPL Batman said Evan Nilsson. Keith said Mateta. Again, good option. Evan Nilsson and Mateta are fine, but they haven't set the Premier League alight this season. Evan Nilsson plays for one of the best attacks in the league. Bournemouth are very good attacking numbers. The entry point would be Man United away. Not the best. Crystal Palace home, Fulham away, Everton home. It's not a bad run. The entry point for Crystal Palace, it gets good for Palace, but in a couple of weeks. So your entry point would be Arsenal at home, but then you get Bournemouth, Southampton. Don't know how I feel about Mateta this year. It was obviously great. I'm unsure. I'm really unsure. Again, I wonder if the Cunha ban comes in straight away, or if it takes a while and then you get another game of Cunha. Let's see. I do think Jackson is worth a look. Like, Nico Jackson is, I think, really well priced for what you get. He's 8.2 and he's delivering often like a 9 million asset. The entry point for Jackson would be Everton away, but then you get Fulham at home, Ipswich away, Crystal Palace. You get great fixtures for Jackson. Jackson and Isak, it's just finding the money. Yeah, no, we like Jackson. So look, let's look at how Wolves looked. And look, we have to talk about how Ipswich looked, because Leif Davis, he's such an attacking outlet. Again, you don't get a clean sheet, though. And Ipswich just don't keep cleans. If Ipswich kept some cleans, it would be worth going there, because Leif Davis offers so much in terms of advanced positions. But with all these advanced positions we've seen from Leif Davis, what have we seen in terms of attacking returns? We've seen 1 goal, awesome volley, and then we've seen 2 assists. It's not enough to risk it for no attacking return. So Ipswich feel like a bit of a non-event. Wes Burns, by the way, played right wing back. Look how high Wes Burns is. Is worth noting. Wes Burns' position. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say go buy me your FPL team, but he's a really cheap enabler. Like, he's 4.8 million. Like, he's proper cheap. There's not really an Ipswich player to go shopping for. Liam Delap has caught the eye at times this season. I've tipped him, but he's been blanking of the last 5-6 games. He is starting games, and I think he's a really good forward. Yeah, Leif Davis is 2 points every game, maybe an assist. Where's Paul's comment? Paul said he was going to give away a membership, which is so generous, for 500 likes, but I can't find your comment, Paul. Damn. I want to leave that on screen so people can see it and hit that like to support Paul in his generosity to gift a membership. We're halfway there, though. So that's Ipswich. 8 Nori owners. Hands up if you're an 8 Nori owner. I reckon We got about 30% of you on 8 Nori. I reckon a lot of you that watch other YouTube channels will be on 8 Nori. A lot of you that watch just me probably won't be, because I was very sort of like, oh, I don't think he's a good pick, because again, we talk about shape. And yes, yesterday was a back five, but what Wolves have been doing a lot was playing a back four. And when they moved to back four a month ago, I was like, 8 Nori's not a pick now. And also we have to remember, there's no clean sheets at Wolves. There's just no clean sheets at Wolves. Like Ipswich have just scored 2 against them on the road. So yeah, 8 Nori. We'll do a poll. Yeah. Oh no, I've just got rid of the comment. Go. Oh, I can't help but bring your comments up. It's just force of habit. So look, 71% of you are on Cunha. How many of you own 8 Nori? Do you own, or did you own, because someone might have sold, did you own 8 Nori this game week? I reckon 30%. Yes. Might be higher though. It's bloody popular. Do you own Ryan 8 Nori? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm really wrong there. 60. There's a lot of you on -2 points. Wow. John, where have you been? John says good morning. Hello, John, in South Africa. If you're just tuning in, guys, I would consider sacking me off and going and watching the last hour. Oh, like, you've missed all the good bits. There's still some good bits to come, don't worry. But we've gone through the majority of the games. I'm just checking how many of you are joining my sleep app. Yeah, loads of you are in. Shout out to Femi, Farwa, SM20, Furious Fins, George, Ken Cuddy. Loads more. Loads of you are going to... One of you hopefully wins the PS5, which I'm going to give away over Christmas. So, that was Wolves. Nottingham Forest Villa. I forgot we still got Forest Villa to talk about. Ugh, it's painful. I own Matt Sells in sleeper draft and my FPL team. And boy, do I feel robbed, because other than the John Duran header, which was a 0.08 XG chance, they did very little, Villa. And I'm like, that would have got me a Sells clean sheet. It would have got me probably bonus points. I wanted that Sells clean so bad. And what I've said all season, and a lot of you, because you hopefully watch a lot of me, will know I rave about this defence. I tell you every week, if you're buying a budget midfield defender, forget about things like fixtures. I know we've said Robinson and Hall this week, but do look at, if you don't own Sells, buy a Forest defender, because they're a top tier defence in the Premier League, and they're a cheap team to invest in. You get Matt Sells or a Forest defender at like 4.5 million. They keep clean sheets, guys. They're a really good defence, especially at home. And yesterday, they should have kept it clean. We were unlucky not to get I bet if I did a poll, I bet only 20% of you own a Forest defender. Now, the fixtures aren't great, but it doesn't matter. They can keep clean sheets against anyone. So far this season, they've got 5 clean sheets. Very few teams, I think, have got more than 5. Should we do a poll, especially the budget? In terms of the best 4.5 keepers, in terms of points, it's Forest, it's Sells. So 60% of you own 8 Nori. Let's do another poll. How many of you, this is going to be low, this is going to be 20%. How many, do you own a Forest defender or Sells? It's going to be like 20%. Now, I'm not saying you'll need to go and buy one this week, but if you're going to be shopping in a few weeks and when you do your planners, think about investment in Forest. Because Villa are a good attack, 0.42 XG. I sold Aina this week, says Charlie. Milenkovic or Aina are both great points, great options. How are you voting? Yeah, I said 20, didn't I? It's about 25. Only 25% of you own a Forest defender. They've been brilliant. And look, what's really interesting here is look at the XG, XG total, but look how much XG Forest get in set pieces. And we say this every week. This is what makes Milenkovic a brilliant option for goal threat. 1.75 XG from set pieces. That's nuts. Not many teams clock 1.75 XG in a game week. Forest did it alone yesterday from set pieces, from free kicks, from corners. There was no penalty. From free kicks and corners, they get brilliant delivery. And remember, they own James Ward-Prowse, but he doesn't even start. But they've got good technicians on free kicks. Morgan Gibbs-White, Elliot Anderson, they take a great free kick. James Ward-Prowse when he's playing. And then you've got Murillo, who's a beast, but Milenkovic, who's just different level in the air. They look for Milenkovic like Arsenal look for Gabriel. And Milenkovic is phenomenal value. By the way, in real life, they paid like 12 million for him or something. He's a great centre-back. And Fiorentina should never have let him go for that money. He scored goals in his last 2 games. He's got an assist this season as well. He's got high XG. Like he should have scored before the 2 he scored. He's like 6'6". He's only 2% owned, Milenkovic. Now, the fixtures for Forest aren't great. The entry point would be Brentford away, Spurs at home. They could keep a clean sheet in that. Spurs at home. They'll concede at Brentford, I think, because Brentford always score at home. But then it's Everton and Wolves, Liverpool, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham. Like, it's not a bad fixture run. It's not the best entry point, but it's not a bad fixture run. So, we like Forest and Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins has started, I think, 1 in 3 now. We saw wing backs. We don't often see a back 3, but we saw a back 3. He matched up Forest. He went, no, he didn't. Forest played back 4. Luca Dean and Cash were high and wide. But yeah, you went with 1 fewer midfielders with the back 5. So usually like you have to say Leon Bailey in there as well. Not yesterday. Morgan Rogers and McGinn playing off Duran. Lackluster. But Forest do a very good job in keeping it tight. Would I start Milenkovic next game? I think I'd always start Milenkovic because the goal threat is seriously there. Seriously there. So look, I think if you own Watkins, you've got to sell. Don't go and buy John Duran either. Like those two are going to rotate over Christmas, I think. That's how I see it. I see a lot of rotation over Christmas. If you're just joining in, guys, we're reviewing all 5 games from yesterday. There's been some awesome stuff to see, especially from Saka's performance at Arsenal, especially from Liverpool's performance. Like we saw Arsenal dominate, but then do very little. I talked about this in detail, so go and rewind. Liverpool again, Fulham was a really even display. Newcastle clocked surely their highest XG of the season, 4.22, and it was the Isak, but also the Lewis Hall and Gordon show. Everything went down the left. Slight change in position. We're seeing Tonali playing as the 6. Bruno Guimaraes is now playing the number 8 role. Like we saw with Chelsea 4 weeks ago. On this channel, I don't react 4 weeks on and go, oh, Enzo's changed position. The beauty of these Sunday morning streams is I'll give you that tactical stuff when it happens. And you'll be 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead. I told you about Enzo a month ago, right? I'm telling you about Bruno Guimaraes now. Not saying I'm buying Bruno G, but he's going to be a much better FPL asset playing as number 8. He had huge goal threat yesterday. Again, playing ahead of Tonali. We spoke about Sleeper. Many of you have joined the Pick'em League. Like, if you're not already in, I'm genuinely giving away a PS5 or a £100 Amazon voucher every single week this season. Sleeper have given me £7,000 that I'm not allowed to keep. 7 grand to give to you guys, and they're not allowed to give out cash prizes. So what we do is we gift stuff. PS5s, £100 Amazon vouchers. It's a way of saying thank you for supporting the channel, but a way of you trialing Sleeper and getting on the app. This is everyone that's joined this morning, by the way. This is the Sleeper app. It says who's joined, and I can chat to you all now. Hey guys, thanks for joining. God, I always say guys, don't I? Good luck with the PS5 in a few weeks. And it's a £100 Amazon voucher that I'm giving away this weekend, like all the time. All you got to do is predict the scores. Home win, away win, draw. It's that simple. And then where do we go? Where did we go after that? I think we went to Wolves, Cunha. Guys, Cunha's getting a ban. You can't do this. You can't do this. So Cunha's going to get a ban. And there are a lot of potential replacements. You can go down to a Raul Jimenez. He ain't a 90-minute man, but he's got the fixtures. You go down to an Evan Nilsson. He sometimes gets hooked early as well. You could go up to a Jackson or an Isak. I'm still not sure. I want an Isak, but it's just the money. So you've got a lot of options from Cunha. 70% of you lot own Cunha. Let's see when the ban comes in. It could come in after, maybe. A lot of you got 8 Nori. I was surprised at that. 8 Nori, the best replacements for me are a Forest defender, Lewis Hall, or Anthony Robinson. They're the 3. So look, we spoke about Wolves. Poor. Ipswich deserved the win. Then we spoke about Forest Villa. Like, it's all Forest, and they're a very, very good team. So that's where we're at. I want to talk a little bit just to show you my team. Also, just shout out, Paul did offer to give away a membership. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Paul. But we need to get 500 likes, so we're close. We're closing in on it. Thank you, Paul. We're also closing in on 20 of you hitting that subscribe button this morning, which is awesome. So thank you guys for hitting subscribe. If you want to see these shows every Sunday morning, it's always at 9:30. My team, I've had a dreadful season. You lot know that. I keep coming back to it. Salah killed me. Like, you all know that too. I had Haaland captain for a very long time. When Salah was smashing, I didn't even own him. But Lewis Hall 15-pointer was massive yesterday. Currently on a green arrow. I don't like mid-game week ranks. I don't like to talk about them much, good or bad. So I'm not going to spend long on this. Let's talk about my rank on Sunday night or Monday night when 9 or the 10 games have been played. Because when you've still got captaincy and stuff, that is pointless. Mid-game week ranks, don't sweat on them. Don't be too high or don't be too low on them. Fixture ticker is interesting. If we change it to game week 17, again, I was on the Scout app this morning, which is great. I love playing around with the ticker on the Scout because you can filter it by attack difficulty, defense difficulty, or just general difficulty. This is general difficulty. But Man City are back to the top of the ticker. I'm not going to go by Haaland and rip up my team. I'm just saying. Just saying. Chelsea, also very high for Nico Jackson entry point. Not bad. Jackson, by the way, away from home is really good. So Everton away is fine for Nico Jackson. Although Chelsea, what they do when they play twice a week, they rotate. And the Chelsea fixtures, there's going to be some rotation because they play today, Sunday, then they play next Sunday, then they play a Thursday game and a Monday game. There's a good chance the Thursday game will be the midweek game, Boxing Day, and then Cunha comes in for Jackson. That's the only thing that puts me off Jackson. And obviously the 4 yellows, but that doesn't deter me too much. So the ticker's good for teams like City and Chelsea. Fulham are worth a look. And Raul Jimenez, Southampton entry point, and then you've got Bournemouth and Ipswich. The best thing for Fulham here is 3 of the next 4 are at home. That's huge. For Raul Jimenez to bang versus Southampton, Bournemouth, Ipswich is very, very possible. I just wonder if Muniz gets a start in there. I think a bit like Chelsea and Nkunku, I expect Muniz to probably come and get a start. So it's Sunday, this next Sunday. Then it's Thursday the 26th. So it's 4 days, and then it's the Sunday after. So they play 3 games, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, 3 games in the space of 7. There's a very good chance Muniz gets a game in there, but maybe he gets the Chelsea game. And therefore it's fine because you're probably benching Raul Jimenez versus Chelsea anyway. Raul Jimenez is really interesting as a replacement for Cunha. Probably the one I'm favouring so far. Gets you money as well, crucially. So that's where we're at with the ticker. In terms of today's football, I think many of us are probably buzzing for a Sunday of football. Disappointing for me in England. Look at the game not on telly. Brighton Palace on telly, Sky in England. The Manchester Derby, of course, is on telly, Sky in England. Southampton Spurs later is also on telly, which is a 7 p.m. kickoff, the same time that Chelsea play Brentford. Rubbish. Gutted about that. So yeah, I thought that was, I guess at the time when the TV's deals were done and they picked their games, Chelsea Brentford wasn't a massive one, and I don't know, they wanted to cover a Southampton game, but yeah, a bit gutted about that. Just can't watch Cole Palmer. Obviously Enzo as well. How do we feel about the game's predictions? In my pick'em, let's see what I've gone for. Oh, shout out to James, Gel, winner, Litrain, all joining that pick'em league. That link is there, by the way, guys. So who have I got in my pick'em for the games today? So, oh my God. My pick'em so far, I've got 2 out of 5 right. I went for Arsenal to beat Everton. Wrong. I went for Liverpool to beat Fulham. Wrong. I went for Wolves to beat Ipswich. Wrong. But I did go Newcastle to win. I also went Forest to win. I'm guessing a lot went Villa or draw, but I did I love Nottingham Forest. Clearly, I always tell you about their defenders. So that's 5 of my pick'em done, but then we've got the 5 games still to go. So I have gone Brighton to beat Palace. I've gone City to beat United. Obviously Chelsea to win. Sorry, Sammy. And then I've gone Spurs to beat Southampton. So I've gone pretty template there. How do we feel about the Brighton game? If you're on Brighton Palace, guys, where are you at? I'm going Brighton. I think Palace score. I'm going Brighton 2, Palace 1. Let me know your predictions in the chat. And Palmer captain, about 60% of the chat are on Palmer captain. We'll do a chat. Mackham's gone 3-1. I'm singing a WhatsApp. Come on, Sammy. I'm looking forward to that. Although I'm not looking forward to that because I don't want Chelsea to lose. Sammy is, of course, in the WhatsApp group. Sammy's one of our channel members in the house. Which I thought I grabbed something from channel members. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't do it. I did. There we go. If you want to become a channel member, guys, hit the word join under the screen and you can become an ultras member like me and Sammy, and you can see Sammy singing in the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group. Rowena's in the WhatsApp group. Keith is in the WhatsApp group. Mackham is in the WhatsApp group. Good to see so many of you here this morning, guys. And if you want to join, like Matthew, and become a squad member, that's also very, very easy and possible. Paul's in the WhatsApp group. Paul has said he's going to give away a channel membership as well today. But if we get 500 likes, which we're going to be a bit short of, mate, I'm afraid to say. A lot of you are backing Palace. A lot of you are backing Brighton, by the way. And a lot of you are on the draw. No one's gone really for a Palace win. Very few of you. Manchester Derby, I think we all agree. I don't know. Do we actually? I'm going 3-1 City. How do we join? I've just told you how to join the WhatsApp. You have to be an Ultras member. So Ultras tier, click join below this video and you can become a squad or an Ultras member. You're very welcome to join the WhatsApp web. We would love to have you. We've got about 25 of us, probably about 20 of us that are active. So we keep it as a small group, but you know, it's cool. And there's benefits of the WhatsApp in terms of prizes too. That's not why you're joining, but we also do a monthly £100 Amazon voucher for one of those 20 members. Gucci won a couple of months ago. He's not in the chat this morning, is he? So yeah, if you want to become a WhatsApp member, it's all there. Wow, Mackham reckons 3-0. Never. Yeah, 4-1, draw. A lot are going for the Desmond. 2-1, 2-1, 5-1. Okay, yeah. How do we feel about Chelsea-Brentford then? The Cole Palmer show. Chelsea are winning this football match, guys. Don't know if they win to 0. I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea, I think. 3-1. 3-1? 2-1, says Sammy. Sammy's a Brentford fan. 5-2, says Lovin' in Fantasy Football. Yeah, a lot of you are backing Chelsea for big. That's why we went Cole Palmer captain, isn't it? You're all backing Chelsea. 3-0. I'm not sure if we get a clean sheet, Chris. And then look, Southampton Spurs. I think it's a draw. Honestly, I have no confidence in that Tottenham team. I'm going to go Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu for me. Desmond Tutu. Now, we have had a very, very kind offer of a gifted membership if we hit 500 likes, but I don't think it's going to come in, Paul. Paul very generously offered. Paul, let us know if you're going to give it away or not. But unfortunately, we'll hit 500 likes, but not in the live. So if you are watching, there is a very good chance Paul agrees to give away a membership. So stay tuned and one person in the chat will win if Paul agrees to it. So Paul, let us know what you're thinking if you still want to give away that membership. No pressure. If you don't want to, that's also very, very fine. But I have a feeling Paul's going to say, yeah, let's do it. Despite not getting the 500 likes that Paul asked for. But it's fine. We still got an amazing amount of likes. I knew it. I knew he'd say yes. Paul, it's very kind of you. Okay, so Paul is going to give away a membership, guys, in the next 60 seconds. So it will go to one person in the chat. So to have a chance of winning the membership, you've got to do two things. You've got to have liked, you've got to have subscribed, and you've got to have written something in the chat. So write something in the chat and it will go to someone randomly in the next 60 seconds. But to write in the chat, you've got to hit the subscribe button. So you can put whatever you want in. Get your comments in the chat. You can spam the chat. This is the only time the chat is allowed to spam. So you can spam all you want and it's going to go to one person randomly. And Paul, you can let us know, give us maybe a 10-second warning or not. It's completely up to you. Let's watch and see how this goes. I'm loving all your comments in the chat. People are just putting random letters in. Go on, Paul. Put them out of their misery. There we go. He's gifted a membership. It's gone to Cedric. It's gone to Cedric. Congrats, Cedric has won the membership. Paul, that is very good of you, man. If anybody else wants to be generous and give away a membership, then you can do in the next 30 seconds. If not, that's completely fine. There's no pressure. Congratulations to Cedric. Won the membership. If you didn't win, you can still sign up to be a member. The word join underneath. Yeah, Paul, man, that is very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. If you are just joining, please, please, please go and watch the last hour because you've missed some really good stuff. We've gone through all of the games in detail. I genuinely think the Sunday morning streams are my favorite time of week. Grab your tea or coffee, sit back, relax. And we're all FPL geeks, right? We like looking at this sort of stuff. We like looking at this sort of stuff. We like looking at this sort of stuff. Sorry, you got to hear me slurp. So guys, look, thank you so much for joining on this Sunday morning. Genuinely, if you've only been with us for 10 minutes, go and watch last hour. Andy says, my favorite time yeah, it's my best stream of the week. Let's face it, especially when I'm having a dreadful season. But look, fingers crossed. I don't like to talk about mid-game week ranks, but it's going all right this game week. I'm on a green arrow. Going on a green arrow. So look, let's reconvene. We'll see you next Sunday, shall we? I'll see you before that, though. What streams am I planning this week? Look, I'll do my team selection as normal on a Monday. Stay tuned for that. I've got a few plans. Might be talking to one of the best managers in the world this week, who's in the top 50 in the world. So check that out. If you're on Cole Palmer, by the way, captain, good bloody luck. I think we're going to get returns, but I don't want to jinx it. Guys, thank you for watching. I do have a mini league. Yeah, it's in the description or something. I don't know. Where's the mini league? Someone's asking, do I have a mini league? Yeah, I've got a mini league. There we go. It's at the bottom of the screen now. M7UEO5 is the code. If you want to be in my mini league, you're very, very welcome. You'll be beating me, I bet. I bet you'll be beating me. So guys, we will see you as always for another video in the next 24 hours. Good luck. Enjoy the Sunday football. And I will see you again very soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.